Good afternoon, everybody. It's Andrew from Vera Wine and Spirits, and today I have the honor of sharing the screen with somebody who a few of you may know. She really doesn't need any introduction, but it is the Rebekah Wineburg from Post and Vine. I could say as much as I want about her, but I'm not going to. The advantage is having her right here. So I'm going to let her do all the talking. And without further ado, I would like to say hello. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. As good as we can be, for sure. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with wine. What made you do it?
Yeah. So I have been a winemaker for 20 years now. I did not grow up in the wine industry or with any connections to the wine industry. I actually grew up in Washington, D.C. and got the idea of being a winemaker when I was 16 years old on a family vacation to California that involved one day trip to Napa Valley. And then that set the scene for me and gave me the idea of being a winemaker. And then I pursued this after college. I've been very lucky. I've worked around the world. I live in Napa now. I've lived here now for 17 years. Wine country is absolutely beautiful. And Post and Vine is my personal label. So my day job is as a winemaker, and then my side job is a winemaker too.
Right.
And I created Post and Vine 8 years ago with my friend and partner, Erica Kincaid, because I wanted to showcase what I call these heritage vineyards. So these are these old California vineyards that were planted often around the turn of the century, usually by Italian immigrants, and were just real, honest, incredible terroir, and I think, have not gotten the attention and the focus that they have deserved. And so as a winemaker, I have a little bit of a soapbox, right? And so I can make people pay attention or try and experience these vineyards and these varietals.
Right.
And that's what Post and Vine is about.
Wow. So obviously I would assume that when you were in Napa at 16, you didn't actually try the wine yet, but you got to see the beautiful estates and the vines, which I'm sure really got you addicted to it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I did taste a little wine, but I actually came into it. I was into science as a kid, and I thought I would be a research biologist. I thought I'd be, a professor. And that trip and looking at those wineries made me realize that I could use science, but also have the connection to a piece of land and the season cycles, and then create something that you could then share. Yeah. And so that's what the wine is. So I'm also drinking 2016.
So you're a biologist, a meteorologist, a chemist, and a winemaker, pretty much all in one, which is pretty amazing. Did you so have you trained under anybody that really stuck out to you, or did you just self-develop the skill, or what was the path?
So I got a master's degree at UC Davis in viticulture and enology. And then I worked in Italy at a winery called Ornellaia, which is a pretty famous Super Tuscan.
Sure.
I've worked in New Zealand, Spy Valley, which is in Marlborough, making Pinot and Sauvignon Blanc. And I've worked at multiple places in Napa Valley, Rudd, Staglin, Buchela. I'm the winemaker at Quintessa, which is in Napa Valley. And I have had the great honor to call Celia Welch my friend and my mentor. And I know that you have another wine of Celia's there, and she's incredible. And so it's a small community here, like all, in the wine industry. And I think we work together and we help each other out, because you can't drink just one wine.
Sure, of course not. It's boring. But we'll say you have a couple between Post and Quintessa. I feel like you have a few decent wines to choose from, so it could be worse.
I mean, I definitely drink. I have to taste my own wines to see how they're developing.
You're working. It's your job. So speaking of post, it's been pretty tremendous for us. We haven't had it too long. I would say probably, 3 months at most, and it was sold out before we could even open a case. But we're fortunate enough to have the wine here. We have the 2016. You can see the beautiful label. This is the 2016 Old Vine Field Blend. And if you want to maybe do just a quick overview of it and what you expect to get from the wine and how it's made, I'll leave it to you.
Sure. So this is from the Testa Vineyard, which is in Redwood Valley, Mendocino. So it's Mendocino, but it's inland Mendocino. So it's a bit of a warmer spot. It's right off of Highway 101. The Testa family, I've actually known them since 2003. They were my first introduction to some of these varietals that they grow. So this is a blend, what we call a field blend, which means that the vines are planted in the same field, not as separate blocks. They're harvested together and fermented together. And it's Petit Syrah, Carignan, Grenache, and Zinfandel. And this is actually like old blends of vineyards. They were very, kind of classic. Yeah. And they were, they're also called mixed blacks is the name for them.
Okay.
So it's a mixed vineyard of black varieties.
Sure.
And then what I like about working with a vineyard like this is that you get that, you can really express the vineyard because I'm not focusing and separating things out. I'm thinking about the vineyard as a total, as a holistic whole.
Sure.
And so I get the tannin and the structure from Petit Syrah. I get the brambly fruit from Zinfandel and kind of that ripeness character. Grenache is more crunchy. And Carignan is this almost blueberry fruit, rose petals, and acidity. And then all of those together, it makes for incredibly healthy fermentations. Like I don't add yeast, don't add any acid, I don't add anything.
Wow.
And just let the wine make itself. And it has enough tannin. I'm not adding new oak, bottling it unfiltered. And it's just like a really pure expression. And then this vintage in particular, I love. It's a more savory character than some of the previous vintages. It's just the conditions of the year. So we have the fruit is for wild strawberry. I get a little bit of this boysenberry note, but also pomegranate, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And then there's that savory character, which is bay laurel, so bay leaf, dark chocolate, kind of cedar notes, and then this beautiful structure and minerality in the mouth. And so that's why I find I'm really happy with this vintage. I'm finding that I drink it every time I open a bottle, I drink the whole bottle.
Yes. It does go down pretty easily, I will say.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty unique because you figure in a California wine, I mean, most people here expect the cab or Pinot Noir or something typical, and then the blend is pretty overwhelming with no cab, but it's still got that really deep, rich, voluminous taste. I mean, it's so powerful. You would have to think that there's got to be some cab in there, but there's not. And I think that's the most exciting thing about it is it's something different that's out of California that's just so in depth with flavor. So I think you've done, a tremendous job with it. And we have 2014 as well. So I don't have it in front of me, but we do have that in our inventory. If you want to maybe talk just a minute about that.
Yeah, 2014 has been an incredibly successful vintage. So this was a year that was a little bit hotter than 2016. Harvest was a little bit earlier, and it's really, really bright in fruit. So 2014 for me is a little bit more fruity and bright and a little less sort of cedar and mineral than the 2016. At the age that it is now, it's just drinking perfectly.
Yeah.
And so that's what's fun. And the way I like to make wine is to have a wine. I don't want to release the wine. I don't want to sell the wine until I think that it's ready to drink.
Sure.
And so you can be sure that whenever you buy it, it's ready to drink, but that is also ageable. That balance of acidity, tannin, that allows the wine to age and develop over time. But you don't have to wait.
Sure. Yeah. That's the double-edged sword is, you want to see how good it gets, but then it's like, I really want to drink it right now. But did you release the 16? You did release the 16 before the 14, correct?
No, I released the 14 first.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'm actually, like the wineries, I think we're sold out of 14. So you have some, but we don't really.
Yeah,
we're actually into library. We did a little like library.
We took the last of it.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And we just saw a little hint of a rosé possibly.
Yeah, so I'm working on starting to release a rosé, and I need to figure out. So this is a small volume project.
Sure.
The Tester Red is 120 cases produced, and I was just sort of dabbling in a rosé in the 2019 vintage, and it had taken me a long time to find a vineyard that I wanted to work with. So I found this really cool old vine Carignan vineyard on sandy soils in Contra Costa County. So that's kind of south of Napa, sort of like on the San Joaquin River Delta.
Sure.
And also, like Mendocino, like Redwood Valley, these sort of forgotten vineyards, and also not places that people expanded housing into, because otherwise this would have all this vineyard would have been torn up for housing. And so we're really lucky that these historic vineyards remain, both of them. The Testa Vineyard and the Sandy Lane Vineyard, where the Carignan Rosé is from, were planted around 1900.
Wow.
Yeah, great, right? Yeah. And really, really cool vines. Wow. But yeah, so it was the first year I was just sort of figuring it out, and I only made about 60 cases.
Okay.
And so I have to see, you're first on the list, but I have to see if I have enough to send out.
I appreciate
it. But
I
will make more.
I want to make sure I got that on recording. So anybody that if I don't get it, that's really exciting. It seems that anything you get your hands on, it develops into something that's frankly mind-blowing. So we're really excited to be working with you and the wines. They've done extremely well for us. And we still have some for sale, and the liquor stores that are open, the wine shops, I will be tagging in this post. So make sure to get out there and support Post and Vine, support your local businesses, and drink some wine. Hopefully this is over soon. Whether you're in Napa or New Jersey, we know the whole country is kind of dealing with the whole thing. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
It was great speaking with you. And hopefully soon we'll be enjoying wine together in person, whether it's from 6 feet or not. I hope it all comes to an end soon. But thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your wines, appreciate what you're doing, and we'll speak soon.
I hope so. Thank you very much. And cheers.
And cheers. To everybody out there, stay safe, stay healthy, and cheers.